You know, we all know that one person. The one who, when everything is falling apart, just seems completely fine, totally calm. So, are they some kind of superhero? Or is there something else going on right under the surface? Well, that's what we're going to get into today.
I mean, really think about it. The project deadline is a disaster. The family dinner has turned into a shouting match. Chaos is erupting. And yet, there's that one person, just handling it. They're not yelling, they're not panicked, they're just focused. And you can't help but look at them and think, how are you not freaking out right now? Do you even care about what's happening?
And look, let's be real. Our first instinct is often to judge them, right? We see that calm on the outside, and our brain immediately translates it to cold. We think, wow, they must be distant, detached, maybe they just don't care. It's a completely normal assumption because the reaction is so different from everyone else's in the room.
But what if that initial perception is just totally off base? What if what looks like a lack of emotion is actually an incredible mastery of it? Today, we're going to flip that script. We're going to see how detached is actually focused and how uncaring is really a sign of something much, much deeper: resilience.
You know, this trait actually has a name, and I think it's pretty amazing. It's called heroic absence of agitation. And the most important word in that phrase? Heroic. This isn't about being an emotionless robot. Nope. It's a state of calm that was learned, that was built, because it had to be. It's a survival skill.
So that immediately makes you ask, okay, where does a skill like that even come from? I mean, you're not just born with it. It's something that's learned. And for a lot of these calm ones, their training ground was their childhood.
It usually happens in 3 stages. First, it starts with a childhood that was high stress, maybe unpredictable, or just plain chaotic. In an environment like that, you learn really fast that big emotional outbursts don't help. In fact, they can make things way worse. So what do? You learn to control your outward emotions to create some stability. And if you do that for long enough, it stops being a conscious choice. It becomes your automatic go-to response whenever stress hits as an adult.
Okay, so that's the why. But what's actually happening on the inside when a crisis hits? What's going on behind that calm face? Let's take a look at the internal mechanics, because this is where it gets really fascinating.
You can think of them as a delayed processor, and this is the absolute key to understanding them. The emotions are there, oh, believe me. The fear, the anger, the sadness, it's all there and it's intense, but it's just not processed right there in the moment. Instead, it's like they put it on a shelf to deal with later, when they're somewhere safe, somewhere private, where they can finally let it all out.
So how do they do that? Well, it's powered by something called emotional granularity. It's a really cool concept. Think of it this way. Instead of just being hit by a giant, crushing wave called panic, they can see all the little currents inside it. They can say, okay, that's anxiety, that's frustration, and that's a bit of concern. Being able to name the feelings with that much precision gives them the power to manage the emotion instead of just getting swept away by it.
I love this quote because it just says it all so perfectly. The feeling, whether it's grief or anything else, isn't ignored. Not at all. It's just treated with a kind of reverence. It's handled like a private ceremony, not a public performance.
So when we put all of this together, it completely reframes how we see these people, doesn't it? It's time to shift our whole perspective from seeing coldness to appreciating an incredible amount of control.
So here's the bottom line. What you're seeing is not an absence of reaction, it is a presence of control. It is not a lack of empathy, it is a testament to a deep, hard-won resilience. It's basically a superpower that was born out of pure necessity.
All right, so if you take anything away from this, let it be these 4 things. 1, that calm you see in a crisis, it's a learned survival skill. 2, it very often comes from a stressful childhood. 3, and this is the big one, the emotions are not missing. They're just processed later, in private. And finally, number 4, what you're actually witnessing is a sign of profound resilience.
And that really brings us to the final question. For you, knowing all this, how might it change the way you see that calm person in your life? That coworker, that friend, that parent? Or maybe, how might it change the way you see yourself in the mirror? Maybe it's time to trade that judgment for a little bit of admiration. Thanks so much for joining me.